Hi guys, just thought I'd talk to you today about what it takes to succeed in your training. It's a question I get asked all the time. What's going to give me the biggest bang for my buck? I want to lose weight, I want to get strong. All those things are real big considerations when someone undertakes an exercise program. So, what works? Now, there's a lot of things that could work. You could spend a lot of time talking about what program's best, what exercise is best, but really what works is just turning up. Setting aside time in your week to train. Training consistently is probably the single most effective way of getting stronger, losing weight, feeling more confident, and mastering a skill. Now, I spend a lot of time just working on what my week's going to look like and how I fit my training in. I make sure I've got a positive habit every day. So every day, in the morning or when I can grab some time, I do 5 minutes of just movement practice. Look, I'm quite lucky in the sense I get to move around all day working with clients, so I am physically active. But it's important for me to work on things that I really struggle with, or maybe I'm particularly tight in an area. Another thing to do is to choose something that you can really enjoy. If you really enjoy something, then you're more likely to do it. So, like I said, if consistency is really what you want to aim for, you want to do things you enjoy. But it reminds me of a story, well, not a story, just experiences I had when I used to travel a lot on tour, when I used to work with a lot of musicians. We used to go on the road quite frequently, and you work with both experienced bands and also those who perhaps had never been on tour for prolonged periods before. Full of energy, it's great, but when they used to get on stage and something used to happen, then often what you'd find is that they'd panic and it would ruin the entire set. So, for example, they'd be up there playing a song, they get to the chorus, and all of a sudden the mic would stop working. What do? They just start panicking. You could see that they panic. The song would continue, but what would happen is that they'd lose their momentum. They get annoyed. They start getting frustrated. They come off, and it would either affect the entire show, or certainly affect the song, and they come off and ruin their entire experience of the show. And then they'd end up blaming the crowd. They blame everyone else. But really what they didn't have was enough experience and enough consistency under their belt of these things happening. On the other hand, you get a band that spend a lot of time on the road, and they'd lose, the mic would stop working as they get to the chorus, and they'd either move to the second mic or they'd get the crowd to sing, and it'd actually be part of the experience. And that's what people pay for. People don't pay to see the perfect show. They pay to see a live experience and all the warts and everything else that happens. So, what does this mean for you? You've got to turn up and do some exercise, and sometimes you'll hit a PR, sometimes you'll add an extra rep, or you'll add 2.5 kilos to your big lift, but other times you won't be able to do that. So it's just about showing up, putting your body through those movement patterns, enjoying it, and aiming for something long term, because there are no short-term games. There's short-term goals which can be achieved, but really, the long-term goal is to stay active for the whole of your life, and you want to do that in a way that you enjoy and you find it easy. Anyway, I'm off to go outside. I've got to lift a tree. I know that sounds very impressive. It's a small tree, as you can see. I don't know if you can see that here. It's not this heavy. It's got branches. I can't cut them off and I can't tie them up. So we'll see where we go. 2 flights done. It's in the garden. Now for some gardening.